Now, a worker process may use the dbms underscore metadata API to convert metadata to DDL and to PL SQL for import. A worker process may also use the data layer to load or import the data. A network mode import uses the dbms underscore metadata API to convert the source database metadata for execution and move the data to the target database. Now, import assesses all import tasks by reading the control table from the dump file. It determines ordering requirements, mostly ordering the import by object path. In general, the object path is strictly followed for import. Table data cannot be imported before the table, but individual table data items can begin as individual tables are created. And parallel metadata import even works when the export wasn't done in parallel, such as if the export was done in a release before 12.2. Furthermore, the parallelism on the export and the parallelism on the import are completely disconnected, so you can have much more parallelism on the import than you could or might have had on your export. 12.2 has much more parallelism for metadata import. Everything is imported in parallel except the items with dependencies, type hierarchies, schemas, and procedural actions. There are two types of data pump parallelism here at work. One type is applying or allocating a worker per petition or sub-petition or per small table. Over a certain threshold, for a large petition or a large unpetitioned table, a worker can be a coordinator for multiple parallel query processes. Now, a bit about the internals. Metadata is exported in XML documents from the dump files. Each XML document contains a certain number of objects of a given type. One XML document is allocated to a worker at a time. So for example, if there are 162 user objects to import, there are going to be two workers that each get to import 80 users per XML document. And then one worker is going to import the last two users while other workers may actually remain idle. Now this works for conventional dump file imports as well as transportable table space imports since release 21C. The restart works the same as always, and the status command will show multiple workers on the metadata. Now here's an example of log files, snippets from log files, where we can see the difference using parallel equals 8 versus a pre-12.2 import that was not using as much metadata parallelism. So here you see that there's one worker performing all the work, taking about 50 seconds, versus with parallel equals 8 on the metadata, you get 8 parallel workers completing the task versus the single worker for pre-12.2. And notice the difference in the completion time. It's down from 50 seconds to about 14 seconds, about 5 times faster. And finally, looking at a performance comparison. Now this is a performance comparison for an EBS test database. The numbers are in seconds, and it shows that the 12.2 import with parallelism is considerably faster than the 11.204 import, notably for tables, for grants, for packages and views, and especially for indexes.